We're here at the penultimate round of the season in Spa. It's Iron at Babinus on pole from Lawless Leclerc, best qualifying position of the season. Then it's Ravo, Dav Sanchez, and Sebastian Ocampo. Sierra starts 6th, then it's Anot Kiwi and Michael Novikov. Sebastian Chantan starts 9th from Akari and Marcus Nelson. His teammate Milrez is alongside, now out of the championship fight. Then it's UK Ball in 13th, iWorld, Yuki Suo, Santino Milan, August Regazzoni, David Camino, Leo, Daniel Bogdasarov, T. Gavo, and Tommy. Sebastian Ocampo today to win the championship, to continue being in the championship, must win all 5 lights go on in the penultimate round of season 16. And the Sao Paulo E3 is green, and that's a very good start from both hyperdrive men, getting the jump on Leclerc at the start, but Raven not really being able to find anywhere to get through. Sanchez holding off his teammate, which is not what the number 76 needs right now to stay in the championship fight. After getting himself in it last time out, Leclerc leads the way here in Brazil from Iron at Babinus, who's on the outside, so not able to make too many moves. Ocampo drops down to 7th. So, in terms of a championship fight, Ravo, if he gets any points today, is your World Drivers Champion. If Ocampo doesn't win the race, doesn't matter what Ravo does, he is champion. There is only one scenario, maybe 2, where Ocampo leaves here still in the championship fight, and he is nowhere near that situation, because Mercedes Formula E team have finally gotten their car in gear and are leading the way, with Leclerc, Sanchez fighting with Sierra over 5th position, and I don't think he's going to win out. So Andretti doing the long game on hard and medium tires, so that's probably not going to help him too much. Ocampo trying to get past Sanchez. He's going to get attack mode going into Decina de Lago as Babinus with attack mode getting past the British number 16. Can he do it? Down the inside, back into the lead goes Iron at Babinus, the top 3 as they were on lap 1. Sierra to P4, Sanchez holding P5, and Ocampo still in 6th. He needs to clear these guys, or it's race over. Babinus and Leclerc still fighting with each other. Ravo trying to win the race that could see him win the championship. They've got a lot more wear with these tires. Is that tire was brought over today, so it is going to be at best a 3-stopper, because you can see 68% in tire wear already. So these softs are only going to do 3 laps. So I expect it to be a 3-stop. Babinus coming back at Leclerc, going into turn number 1. A 1 minute dead. Sierra sets a 59.9 as Babinus takes the lead of the E3 from Lawless Leclerc. However, the Mercedes man with attack mode going down the straight is going to be vulnerable to Ravo on both of them. But down the inside goes Leclerc, and into the lead goes Leclerc. Ravo trying to get past his own teammate, and maybe even Leclerc at the same time. They're going to go side by side up the hill. Timing the screens lighting up. But it is Babinus stays 2nd. Still trying to fight so hard with his teammate, but I do think for Babinus right now, his focus should be solely on letting his teammate by. Because Hyperdrive, they want to win this championship quite badly. But if they're going to collide to do it, it's not going to help him out too much. Into the pits comes Iron at Babinus with P. Sierra. So lap 4, we've begun, and already pit stops being made. Ocampo has been passed by Anot Kiwi, so already he's got an outside chance of getting 2 championships today. His 2nd one. There goes Ravo into the lead. Goes your championship leader. This man was on a roll earlier on in the season. He's lost a lot of that momentum in recent times. Barely even points last time out. But he is still the man currently most likely to win the title. Looking back with Leclerc at Dav Sanchez, Anot Kiwi and Sebastian Ocampo. On lap 4 of 17. As Leclerc, he's going to pull to the inside, coming through the final few turns. I think they might both come into the pits. They both come side by side in pit entry. Who's going to have the fastest stop? And has Leclerc gone into the pits? Yeah, he did, thankfully. And he's been held for a long time. Where is Revo? Do we see him? Yes, he is. Leclerc has been basically forced to let everyone else go by there. Same with everyone else. Akari has come out of the pits ahead of Revo. Many drivers coming out of the pits ahead of Revo and Leclerc. So that fight over that position has hindered their advance further forward so much that now Ocampo on soft tires is 7 positions ahead of Revo. This man started 3rd. He's got the freshest tires of most drivers, but it doesn't matter because they're not the fastest. Regazzoni and Akari have got the fastest tires of anyone else, including, in fact, Sebastian Ocampo. He's flying out there 9th currently, but he needs to get himself back up into the top of 3. He needs to win this race, remember, to stay within the championship battle. And T. Gabo and Milrez officially out of the title fight. I do expect Milrez to come in. He's at 10% tire wear. Enoch Huey is in pit lane. Leo's in. Sierra is going to stay out. So we are now going to see the drivers who don't need to pit stay out. The hard tire runners, as they often do, extending as far as they can because of how much better they are at maintaining tire performance and tire life. There's no real rush out there for those guys. As an Huey going ahead of Michael Markovov, who retired last time out with one of the worst stunts we've seen in this championship. Akari with the fastest first sector, and Revo not really looking to make any positions. To be honest, he can get himself ahead of iWorld currently if he just locks in. But considering how fierce the pack usually is, I don't know if he's going to be able to lock in. But there, Tommy on his inside trying to fight with Akari while defending from Revo at the same time. This would be great if he could get past, but he just can't. I don't care about your history ball or miss. It's the 2-time champ. But here comes Camino into pit lane. Sanchez onto softs. Gabo's still out there on his hards. Babinet's trying to close up. And I do think the hard tire runners have got enough of an offset to the point where they would have to make one less stop than everyone else. I think they have efficiently skipped the first round of pit stops. And Ocampo currently in a net 3rd position. Could actually just be net 4. I don't really know how much longer the mediums are going to last, but as for the softs, I do think that Ocampo might be a little bit done for here. It's all about how much longer you can go on your tires. As Leclerc gets done, this man was leading the race. He's now down to 18th. Him and Revo extended one more lap, and that one more lap has killed their chances of potentially winning today. But now Revo getting himself up into gear, coming up the hill. That rise. Babinet's, Ocampo, Sierra, and Gabo all in pit lane. Many drivers coming in for their 2nd stop on lap 8 of 17. And with attack mode, Revo has had to let drivers pass. He's dropped to 9th when he should have been in 7th at least. So it's now Ocampo. Ocampo is leading this race from Inoculi and teammate Das Sanchez. But it's surely not going to end like this. He needs rain to start falling as soon as humanly possible. And he needs the hyperdrive guys to deliver some of their absolute worst pit stops they've ever seen side by side between Regazzoni and Akari. This is some brilliant racing going on for 21st position. One of the shorter tracks on the calendar. We've already run at the shortest. We've already run at the track with the shortest average dry lap time. But we didn't see any running on that track in the dry. We only saw it in the wet. As into the pits comes Sebastian Ocampo. So Inoculi assumes the lead of the E-Prix. He's probably going to have to pit at the end of this lap. Sanchez is good for another 2 laps. So the hard tire runners absolutely have matched that tire offset. So now Revo is going to have to come in at the end of this lap. He's currently running in 5th. No retirements as is normal here in Brazil. This is not a track known for having wreck fests, unlike some other tracks we could mention, but we won't. Next time out is Manila, and then after that we've got the playoffs, and I'll be right back. And we're back watching Daf Sanchez enter pit lane, going on to medium tyres. It's lap 10 of 17. Handful of laps left to run. Revo's coming for a second stop as well. So Sanchez is going to come up behind his teammate, but with 1 lap fresher tyres. That's Chan fastest lap at 1:59.1. So that is pretty quick. We've seen faster around this track, however. We do expect the fastest times to be in the mid 58s, like actual Formula E lap time. So on board with Ocampo still, we're going to look to his championship rival Revo fighting with Santino Milan over 16th position. And side by side they're going, but coming through the third sector is always very hectic. The second and third sectors are so close together, tightly packed. Sierra and Babness coming in for the third stops. This is going to turn into a 4-stop race, because they're not going to be able to go to the end of the race. Novikov setting up 58.7 as we see Iwold come across the line. And as now Sebastian Ocampo. Can he close in on T. Gabo? Don't think he can, but an Arcuri fighting with Michael Novikov here. Side by side they go into turn number 4, and an Arcuri takes 4th place away from the next EV driver. Bravo finds himself back up into the points. While winning a championship is always great, not being on the podium isn't really one of the better feelings. That's Chantan's just come out of the pits. Track limits warning for Akari, fighting with the man who currently looks to be this season's champion. I did say that he won the championship last time out. I did the maths on the day, and I realized that was not when he won the championship. Onto lap 12 of 17. Can Revo find a way past? Yes, he can. He's dived to the inside on Akari and Milan. Can he get himself up into 7th? Yes, he can. That's 7th place for the man who hopes to be this season's champion. The man who's currently looking as if he's still in this championship fight in Sebastian Ocampo. He's doing everything he needs to do currently, leading this race 3 seconds ahead of his own teammate. If he just held on to that and nothing changed, he would have done everything he needed to do. But Ocampo dropping when it comes to pace compared to his teammate. Sanchez putting in some much quicker lap times, and I don't think if you come in before lap 14 and you go onto softs, as we presume Sebastian Ocampo is about to do, you're not going to be safe to the end of the race. It's going to be 10% come race's end. You cable in the pits. That was really weird with Tommy and Iwold there. We do see these pit stops happen sometimes. So Revo now up into P3 with soft tires, but he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap. And Leo 5 seconds. You rarely ever see time penalties for collisions around here. The drivers usually pretty clean, like the scum I'm chewing. But Iron at Babness currently 8th, and as soon as rain starts falling, positions are roughly, locked in. But clear skies today. here in Brazil, so we don't expect anything of the sort. Bambanus rising the hill, going to the inside on Lawless Leclerc. I think he might be able to make the pass. Sanchez, Yui, and Revo all in pit lane. Leclerc has come in. So your race leader is now David Camino from T Gabo and Iron at Bambanus, and it's PCRO, your top 4, with Ocampo currently in 6th, nowhere near where he needs to be to win the championship. Not win the championship, stay in it. But this man, Revo, he could retire from this race, because the only thing Ocampo can do is get himself in first, and preferably with the fastest lap point, because that gap is 51 points. The gap would then become 26 points heading in to Manila. They'd be tied on points. It goes to countback, and Revo is champion. So Ocampo really needing to get that fastest lap and getting himself ahead of Leo is a pure demonstration of pace. In comes Leo alongside a multitude of other drivers. Making their 4th stop is PCRO and Iron at Bambanus. Gabo leads the way from David Camino. The top 2, and Sebastian Ocampo's tyres 62%. They will see him to the end of this race. Unlike the race leaders whose tyres in the 40s, they will have to come in or risk a puncture. So Ocampo is currently looking to try and keep himself in this championship fight. He needs to get past Gabo and Camino, or just wait for them to come into the pits. Meanwhile, Revo further back, fighting with Iworld, who hasn't got a time penalty of any sort. No one in the top 10, top 15 has a time penalty. It's only Leo. Regazzoni going pretty slowly back there. And do the top 2 come into the pits? Gabo stays out, but Camino does come in. Ocampo has one man to fight against. It's T Gabo versus Ocampo on the final 2 laps here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Where does Camino come out of the pits? Where is Revo in relation to Camino? He's going to get past Iworld, and he's going to come out ahead of Camino. That is 4 points for Revo. All Revo actually has to do to ensure his title is to finish 10th, and he's up in 8th. So he's going to hold on to the championship currently, and then some. But we're looking on board with Sebastian Ocampo, fighting for his dream, fighting for a 2nd title, fighting for another shot of winning the World Drivers' Championship. But there's no true hope for him to hold on, since Revo currently 8th. Onto the final lap. That was the final turn on lap 16. Onto lap 17. Ocampo is doing everything he can to try and force his way past T Gabo, who's now got better worn tyres, but he's got a very slippery exit. There goes the season 14 champion, Ocampo, to the lead of the E3. He's doing everything he has to hold on to his dream of completing another World Drivers' Championship, but I don't think he can do it. Because it's not just in his hands, it's in this man's hands, Revo's hands, as he gets past Michael Nokovov, setting a fastest first sector of anyone, trying to take away the fastest lap from Nokovov. Leo with the fastest first sector now in 16th position. But this man, Sebastian Ocampo, he won the championship in season 14. After an early call I made in Sakir, he won it in the following race. But he's going to come around the final turn here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ocampo is going to win the Sao Paulo E3 of season 16, but it won't be him leaving here with a championship chance. Daf Sanchez sets the fastest lap, and that confirms it. Revo is your season 16 World Drivers Champion and takes the fastest lap. Oh, 58.599, and as Leo resets it at 58.083. Brilliant stuff from the number 7, who actually takes the championship this time around. Vashi Tan setting a new track record of a 57.316. As this is your podium then. It's an emotional podium. Ocampo winning this race from Gabo and Dash Sanchez, but Ocampo knows there was not much more that he could have done. Then it's Anok Huey, U-Cable, Tommy, Rebo, Michael Mokovov, and Iwad. Santino Milan is 10th, then it's Mulrez, Arnett Babinas, Daniel Bolsarov, David Camilo, Lola Chiclerc, P. Sierra, Marcus Nelson, Yuki Suo, Leo, August Regazzoni, Vash Chantan, and Akari. In your driver standings, well, there's your gap then. Over 30 points heading into the final race. Revo is your season 16 champion from Sebastian Ocampo and Anok Yui currently. That's your top three. There is still a championship fight to be fought between Yui, Mulrez, and Sanchez, and maybe August Regazzoni over third position. I'll let you read through the rest of the championship standings, as Marcus Nelson currently the last playoffs driver. He's sitting kind of pretty there. Every champion that we have on the grid is currently looking to be in the playoffs. As we look to the constructors' standings going into the final race in Manila, MS Amlin and Andretti are looking to try and take home their third consecutive Constructors' Championship from Hyperdrive Racing and App Sportsline. And it's Toyota Gazoo Racing, Braun Honda GP, the top three. Then it's Aurelio Pinnacle Motorsports, Next TV Formula E Team, Virgin Renault, Mercedes Formula E Team, Mahindra, and Nissan Nismo. We'll see you guys next time then for the final round of Season 16 in the race that only one man has ever won. Let's see if someone else can win the Manila E-Prix.